Hello, everybody. We're back live here on the channel. Matt and John make a podcast talking about NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. Just went off the air. We got a lot to talk about. Overall thoughts. Mine. I thought this was a very, very good takeover. I think all matches, for 5 matches, very solid matches, very entertaining. What say you, John?
Yes, I would say that as well. Definitely some things I would like nitpick, but
Yes.
in general, I would say this was definitely one of their stronger takeovers in quite some time. And definitely with the Dusty Cup finals matches were like extremely good. But before we get into the actual show, we do have some actual news regarding NXT. They have signed 2 new people to the NXT brand, one of which being Tai Valkyrie, who was most recently on Impact Wrestling. She is also married to a like John Morrison. So she will be joining the NXT, the most stacked women's
Just a bit.
division. It's just I am a little bit concerned for her just because I just wonder if she's going to be lost in the shuffle. Just because there is like just so much talent down there right now.
That's the concern. That's the main concern. But damn, like you had her. They also signed and that was more prevalent. Eli Drake,
who is going to be referred to as LA Knight. He has been on shows such as Impact. And like most recently, he's been on NWA. This guy, he can really talk. Like he's like not too many guys who are better on mic than him.
This is coming from somebody who doesn't really watch. Well, not doesn't watch Impact or NWA and hasn't really seen him work. He caught my eye right off the bat. He could talk. He's got your attention. Bam! He's got your attention, and now I want to see more. And that's all you can say for a first impression. If somebody who's never watched him or watched him regularly can say, and he won me over.
And I'll say this: a lot of people were asking, would he be better off? Obviously on AEW or elsewhere? And I would say, guys, I'm not sure if you have seen NXT's top of their like mid card or upper card. It's like not that deep right now. Like it's literally probably Adam Cole, Karrion.
John, you there?
Cross. Yeah.
Repeat what you, because I repeat what you're saying about whether to join NXT or AEW, because I stupidly switched Wi-Fi in the middle of that, and
all right,
so it went out. So my apologies.
Yeah, so like the whole thing was that some people were asking was like, would he be better off in AEW or say Impact or somewhere else? And I feel like that since NXT's like main event scene really isn't all that like all that stacked right now. It's literally what Finn, Karrion, Cross, Adam Cole, maybe another guy.
Yeah, I mean, solid top, and even more chaotic now at the end now. But I see your point. but like I hate people who just don't want people to go to WWE because they hate WWE. It's not your choice.
As
He's
we have
going to where,
said,
it's going to where he thinks is best for himself.
yeah. As we have said before, everyone's priorities are completely different. I mean, like not everyone can sign to one singular company. Like it's just like there's only so many spots, and if we're being honest here, AEW's roster is pretty loaded as it is right now, and honestly, they probably should begin releasing some people. That's kind of how crowded that
It just
currently
feels like
is.
you can like look in dark. You just have names out of your butt.
Right.
There.
It's just like it's just into like when you look at guys such as like Moxley and Kenny and Hangman and like Archer and just there's just so many guys that they have who are doing things. Eli would not fit anywhere on the card right now. Like look Miro for example. He's a perfect example. I'm looking at Sean Spears. I'm looking at Sean Spears. Where's he right now? So it's just like AEW are fine with the current guys who they have now. As far as like women, that's a completely different other conversation right there, because to me they still need more TV ready people, and like Taya, she would have been really good for them, but at the same time, her husband is currently on like Monday Night Raw, so I'm not going to be criticizing her, saying, "Oh, like why'd you go there?" It's like it's pretty damn obvious.
I don't criticize even if she wasn't married to Morrison. Right. Like again, we're not them.
Nope.
They're doing what they think is best. Whether you agree is irrelevant. Because it's their life.
She's been on the indies now for quite some time. I think she's been actually on the independents, I want to see, for at least 9 or 10 years. Like she's paid her dues, and you can only be on there for so long, and she wanted to like get like a payday, and I'm not gonna be grudge her for that. So yeah, those were some of the like news reports that they came out of there. So yeah, Matt, I guess we will kick off the show here, and so the first thing that happened on the show, Matt, we had the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic for the women, between Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez versus Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. I'll say this, Matt. I loved everything about this match except for one thing. What was going on with the psychology of this match here? It was weird. It was weird.
When you said that and other people were commenting, I'm sitting there going, "What are you talking about?" And I stopped and I thought about crap. What was the moment I was thinking about? There was a moment that I looked back on, and for the love of God, I can't think of it. But I was like, "Okay, yeah, I see that."
I was like, I mean, what was that point? It was like basically, well, like
there was a point that I looked back and it was
right. Well, like, and you saw like Ember arguing with that with that like ref constantly throughout this match, and like it just seemed like that they were like, working more as like heels, even though they're technically are baby faces, and Raquel was being set up for a hot tag. I was just like, this is just really weird. However, I love this match.
Yeah.
These girls just tore the house down. Honestly, it's probably match of the night for me. Just I mean Raquel just looked amazing here, and Shotzi nearly killed herself, and so did Dakota Kai too. On that on the like Doomsday device or something, where like she was on top of the turnbuckle and like she fell on the outside there. That was nasty. And as I said, I'm Shotzi getting freaking powerbombed by like Raquel on the plexi glass.
She always takes one bump, and usually on the apron, but and then she did she did that suicide dive. She was hit her head on the announce table. This was they gave this match
a ton of time.
And it was great. Raquel hits her finisher that always looks badass. Wins. So
now they're going to be facing Shayna and like Nia, which I don't know how you do not put the tag titles onto these girls.
I don't being at the first the tournament, Dusty Cup, whatever. Especially Raquel, because if you're building her up, where they have this,
because like I mean, like, just for everything that they have like gone through with these girls, it's like, well, you already have gone this far, so why wouldn't you put the titles on them? But then again, we are thinking logically here, and as we know, when it comes with like Monday Night Raw, logic doesn't apply.
I think it's obvious who the heel and faces are. The faces are going to be Nia and Shayna just because of my hole. It's going to get them over as a face.
Oh yeah,
that might have been a blessing in disguise.
God, yeah. I mean, it's just, oh my God, that thing's gonna be. So
but I'm going to be interested to see when they do that.
I'm hoping that it's at WrestleMania.
Me too, because tag titles, for all intents and purposes, is a main roster titles right now,
and on top of that, who are Shayna and I'm not going to be actually feuding with?
Exactly. Naomi and Lana.
That's like literally it. So I mean,
don't they have a title match against them? Aren't they number one contenders? That already happened.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I wonder if they're going to be putting those titles onto them. You know,
true
because technically Raquel and Dakota are heels. You would think that they would want a face versus heel dynamic here since obviously Shayna and like Nia are also heels. So.
I'd rather see Shayna and Nia, to be honest.
Right. So
for Mania, because no offense, Lana, but you're the weak out of all four of the women in that match.
Oh yeah,
you're the weak one. Naomi's good. Don't get me wrong. Not this Lana, but Shayna and Raquel going at it would be good. Raquel doing some superhuman power bomb thing or whatever to Nia would be good. That would make her. I think the best bet is, wrestling wise, as a match, Shayna and Nia. But
yeah,
I could see easily, because they're having Lana go over Nia.
I have a feeling that they might be putting those titles onto them either at the Chamber or at Fastlane.
Yeah.
And that could set up between that, because I do think that we're probably are getting Tony versus Io instead of like an Io versus Raquel right now, just based on everything that is happening here. So yeah. All right, and then we move on to the North American Championship between Johnny Gargano versus Kushida. I'll say
Go ahead.
yeah, or no, go
This was
ahead.
my surprising result of the night.
Yeah,
because we all thought, I guess most people thought Kushida was going to win.
I really think he should have won here.
Yeah, I got to see what they do with him.
Great match.
Yes, awesome match. Really enjoyed it.
Awesome match, but I feel that the wrong person went over here, just based on everything that was happening with the NXT TV here. I just didn't think it really made any sense for Johnny to be going over here. But
right, the only thing I'll say that helps him is that he gets a win with no help.
Yeah,
so that's the aspect. If you're going with that, then that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need shenanigans to get the win over Kushida.
Yeah.
So if they're going that route, okay. I want to see, before I pass judgment. Like I always say, I want to see what happens to Kushida moving forward.
Yeah. I'm not sure where he exactly goes from here.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's pretty adamant. He lost clean here, but man, Johnny took an ass kicking like in this match. This was definitely a different style of a Johnny Johnny match, a lot more grappling here than we typically see.
Started out like that, and then it revved up at the end.
Yeah. So I do wonder where they are going to go with him, but I think it's pretty clear we're going to be going in to like Johnny versus Loomis here. I do think at some point I do want to actually see Johnny as a like babyface. It's hard for me to connect with him as a heel, even like now with some of the things that they have been doing with him with these segments with Austin Theory, Indy and Cans here. So but yeah, so like Johnny wins there. Trying to see if there's anything else worth mentioning here. And yeah,
I liked, like, a note of rest the match was how the one final beat onto the ramp was pretty much that did it.
Yeah,
I kind of, because how many times that stuff happens like that, and that doesn't like help finish the match. But then again, you can probably could say that about a couple of things on the show too. But as wrestling match goes, aspect goes, I did appreciate that being the end. Even though I was shocked that was the end. But yeah, really liked it. Before we move on, I know you don't like everything with Johnny going, but I think recently his heel stuff, and his heel stuff, I think has been better. I think maybe initially, maybe in the middle, but probably wasn't the best. But I do like his recent stuff. I'll say that.
I will say though, he's definitely challenging Henry Cejudo for the prison of the like cringe club though, with everything going on with his group though. I will say that it's
Well, then that's good then.
it's something. So all right, so then we move on to the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic for the men between MSK versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. Love this match. MSK are legit, legit as hell. I do think that this might have gone on a tad long, but that's a
No.
extreme nitpick with that. But
Fair.
just some of things like near falls, they were pretty crazy here. There was a few times where I thought for sure that MSK was going down, but man, just I like I have seen these guys on Impact, and I can honestly say, man, I'm way more bigger fans of these guys now than I was back then. So I mean, so like obviously they are now winners there, and they will be earning a future tag team title shot against Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. And the only thing I have to say is they better be new tag team champions unless we see McAfee back here. To me, this absolutely needs to happen.
I fully see them becoming champions with the momentum they have. Just the first 3 matches.
Yeah, let's not overthink this here. Like, it's just ride the freaking hot hand. And as like we know, Matt, this, I mean, before all of this some tournament began, the NXT tag team division was struggling here, and definitely having someone as good as like these guys, it would definitely help.
I would say before McAfee came in,
especially
before that. These guys really just really keep on impressing me. This was your high athletic spot match of the night.
Right.
Just fast paced, is one speed, 100 miles per hour for the most part, just athletic stuff. Different, and that's why I appreciate appreciate for most of the show that every match was kind of different in its own way and stood out. Probably we'll, I guess, obviously get to the Gargano, Kushida, and Dunn Balor match setup was similar to me, but still different. So there's only 2 off to me that were similar, but we'll get to that obviously. But just fun. I'm gonna say the same stuff. Like, this was like awesome. Like, the first 3 matches, just
and I'll say this too: MSK is probably the best overall tag team that they've had. I mean, honestly, I'm going back to like, you know, Johnny and Ciampa and the revival there. They had me thinking of like those guys. As far, I mean, not exactly like them, but as far as tag teams go, this is someone who you need to have at the front of your tag teams. Right now,
I associate Grizzled Young Veterans with that old school, like a revival gimmick.
Revival.
I like them. they to me, and I know you said in the past you're not the biggest fans of them, but I do think they have way more charisma than at least come off than
Imperium.
Orkin. No, not even Imperium. Lorcan and Birch.
By far, like to me, even as a heels, Larkin and Birch are just so boring, like boring.
There's not. It's not.
They're
not boring to me. They're just like
they need
there.
They need Pat so badly for them to be, I feel, in effective tag team. Like it's just they can't survive without him. Like and if this hasn't been evident, I mean, I don't know what you guys are actually watching then. So they're clearly it's a difference.
Pat just being the mouthpiece and them doing the dirty work, like it worked.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to the best rap music video ever.
Nope. It's my boys of the Acclaimed, baby. Nope. No one has the bars as
no. This like this was a better rap than the Acclaimed.
As like my boy, as like
better rap than the Acclaimed.
Max Caster, man, he's going big time. I'm telling you.
This was the better rap. This was what Josh see, this was Josiah, whatever. I killed his name.
Yeah,
Williams again.
Josiah.
Killed it. I enjoyed it. It was a good rap.
Better.
What?
Max Caster's better. And bad and bad punny is absolutely better.
Well,
it's bad punny, man.
I sure.
WWE superstar bad punny, who by the way is going to be on Saturday Night Live next week. Apparently,
yes, he is. He's going to be a music guest. Can't wait to not understand what he says. I got that. Oh, it's Spanish. No, I really enjoyed the Cameron Grimes thing. That's just me. It's different. I'll say this, trying to be objective and not say just to make you mad. I'm trying to give you my analysis, unbiased analysis, and this guy is. Wait, I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to remove John from the stream during. That goes against code of ethics. No, anywho, I'll stop. That's the last time. Don't blow too hard; you might pass out. I don't know what that means, and that's what she said. I don't know.
I wasn't going to say it, but okay.
Yes, you were. No, but I do. I didn't like the gimmick change because it changes Cameron Grimes up because I think he needed he needed a change. And it apparently, so I read that, I don't know if this is true, that he actually made money off of AMC. Really? I swear to God, he actually made money off of it. Like this is like not like he didn't make that much money, but he actually did do the stock thing. I swear to God, I read that on the Twitter from like either Sean Ross Sapp or somebody mentioned it. So I guess they just transitioned it into his new gimmick. So that's interesting if that's actually true. But I like the cocky, annoying guy rubbing in your face and he's richer than you and you want to punch him for it.
Just because he invested in some coin made out of like dogs.
You know what? I'm not even going to touch that. I'm not going to.
That's what she said.
Anyways, we had a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. Toni Storm versus Mercedes Martinez and Io Shirai. And versus the announce table.
That was by far the funniest part about this match, and honestly, the only thing worth even talking about, if I'm being completely honest. Even though the
You didn't
match was
like it, man?
good, no, I didn't say that. It just like it felt extremely predictable for me. I didn't really feel like that they were gonna
Not for
yeah, like for you, I know I know like you probably felt
I
differently.
I thought maybe there was a chance.
Yeah, I just
Just
felt like if they were gonna put the title onto Tony, they're gonna want to, want to like him have that done on a like one here.
yes, which I think is coming now.
Which I think is absolutely is coming. So yeah, but man, that announce table just like when
Fuck your spot.
just said screw spot.
Fuck your spot.
But I think that probably fell down because if you recall from the tag team match, MSK did a like suicide dive and like landed on on the damn table there, and that probably
Barrett at least try to explain it, and you just had
God
I
bless him.
see
God bless him, man.
I just see Tony Storm look down and go, damn it, what do I do now? And they kind of saved it, and then EO did that diving cross body off the support beam. Again, I would say the tag match was better,
Absolutely.
but no indictment to how on this match this was excellent.
It's just
I
like
did.
you weren't beating that match.
No, it was hard to do. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard to do that. And again,
for anything else on this card
for the women,
let alone
especially the women. It's triple. It served its purpose. And like we said, Tony didn't get pinned. And they're probably, I would assume, go the route that
Tony's
EO still didn't beat Tony clean one-on-one.
Yeah, and that's gonna happen. And
because they did mention that in the promo package. So there's your.
And I do think EO is probably is getting caught up here soon. I feel like it's
time.
That time is definitely coming because if you think about it, I mean,
She's beating everybody,
like literally everyone except for Raquel is the only other person at this point. She's beating Cannon. She's beating Dakota Kai. She's beating obviously Mercedes now. Rhea. I mean, it's like
and that frees up everybody else to do stuff. Especially with Valkyrie coming in and all that stuff, it frees up because you want the right person to beat EO.
With a Tony, you can then have like matches with like Shotzi and Ember, and how like if you even want to even do a Mercedes Martinez or
Raquel possibly later.
Right, exactly. Like there's just so many
there's
things that they can do there.
Yeah.
And eventually at some point Xia Li is gonna eventually get a title shot.
That's probably close.
More so, because just based on what they're doing with her and how much investment they are putting into her right now, I mean, it would be hard not to put that title onto her too. There's plenty of people for Tony there.
The depth. Exactly. They could do so much. I think I think to go Amber is a good possibility from when they first came back. You can pull from that, but I just thought of that. So there's a ton you can do, as we said. Moving on to the main event, we had Finn Balor versus Pete Dunne for the NXT Championship, with Finn Balor winning. And I'll admit, there were some close near falls that even though I figured Balor was going to win, make me suspend my disbelief a couple times. It's like, whoa, like even though I knew, but like in that moment, you kind of like, wait, maybe, which I thought was good. I'm gonna say this fact, and then I know you're probably gonna slightly disagree. I'd like I enjoyed the beginning of the match. With the technical aspect, and they picked it up. That's why I said it was similar to, but not exactly like Gargano and Kushida. A lot of joint manipulation, that technical aspect, kind of different from what Gargano and Kushida did. And then obviously they did pick it up and did just beat the holy hell out of each other at the end, and stomps and kicks. I like it was slow. They didn't just go crazy in the beginning, and they built it up to finish, and then obviously what happened after.
Yeah, I'll say this. I was pretty damn bored with this match, if I'm being completely honest. And it's not so much. It's just I hated like a chain wrestling here. It's just I was never really invested in this story just because it was so obvious to me. Pete, he wasn't winning here. Like no matter what they did, it's like it's pretty clear we're going to for like Finn versus Cross, and it took a lot of that enjoyment away from me personally. But I will say though, for the second half of that match, I liked it better, but for a lot of that, I was not exactly into it.
I'm going to say a hot take and do with it what you want. And I can say I can be guilty of this as well. So I'm not saying I am special, but I do think modern wrestling has ruined maybe this people's perceptions of that first half of that first third of that match.
Absolutely.
Because everybody is used to the spots, and maybe especially again, it's going to sound like a hate on AEW, but it's not. It's just a style. I think AEW does more of that.
Hi there, Jim Cornette.
Yeah, I do it. This is my hot take. This is my Jim Cornette moment. Compared to maybe NXT. Now, I'm not saying that as a bad thing, because I do enjoy those stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like a lot of those matches we talked about on. Sometimes we see on AEW that you know there's higher spots, craziness. I do come on here and say that I enjoy them. I enjoy like the whole spectrum of wrestling matches if done right, logical, and and we've come on here and say the high spots of everybody waiting to catch is dumb and it's obvious. So like
which by the way, I'm so happy that like pretty much everyone is finally like stopping that now, because I'm not sure if you have seen, they really have toned that down.
Yes, that's true.
Because finally someone said, "Hey guys," because it's like saying, "Hey guys, this looks really fake and really stupid."
If you do it all the time, it gets really noticeable. If you do once in a while, okay, it's dumb, but
it's between that and fighting on the outside that's extremely. It's like happening in every single match, and that was the one thing I could really appreciate from Finn and Dunn. Everything was basically done in the ring,
And again, you could do stuff outside that absolutely is just if sometimes, yeah, sometimes AEW goes maybe a little bit too much on that.
Just a tad.
But just a tad. And well, we'll get into that. But but I do appreciate the different like starts and the technical aspects of matches that evolve into what we saw. Not if this was a technical match all the way through, then absolutely 100%. It's like, okay, because it's different. It stands out because it's different enough. So I do appreciate that. And I could see where I could see where you're coming from, but it's just not. That's not what I saw. I personally saw it,
right.
But
so now, yeah. So
see,
now
I disagree. See, hey, U.S. government, see how we can disagree and still understand each other's viewpoints and not hate each other for it. What a novel concept.
Fuck you, man.
You know what? I impeach you.
All right, so obviously
I'm going to filibuster. I'm not going to allow you to continue. I'm going to keep on talking. I'm keeping my time. Screw you.
God, that would be so annoying. But so the show obviously ends with the huge angle, which really got me interested, Matt, and that was, I think we're seeing the end of the Undisputed Era. And I'm going to like run this by you and see what you think.
Yeah.
So obviously we saw Adam super kick like Finn Balor and obviously Kyle O'Reilly there, and we saw like Roddy was kind of like unsure what to do here. What if we did like a like Civil War sort of angle with the Undisputed Era where Kyle would be a like leader of like half of it, and Adam for the other half, maybe, because I mean, if we're going to, I would hope that we would involve Finn into this, because I feel like he is such a vital part of this now, and obviously eventually Bobby Fish is going to be coming back, so I would be pretty interested in that if they went that route there,
I can see, even if it's on a Wednesday night, I could easily see an O'Reilly and Balor versus
Roddy
and Roddy down the line, if you build up to it, because that would make the most sense as of now. What's interesting is how, because Cross is obviously dealing with Escobar, presumably just for this week coming up. How does he?
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to wonder about that too, because honestly, what actually makes sense is Adam Cole versus Finn Balor right now.
Right. Match would be good. I don't know if I want to see it. I can see Cross. I can see Balor facing Cross, and the intermingled about this Civil War, as you call it.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have. I don't think it makes much sense if that match were to happen, Cole to cost Balor a match, because you don't need Cross. You don't need help from anybody for Cross to win. But at the same time, Cross is not going to beat Balor easily. So I mean, I'm like contradicting my thought. They could do that long enough, and Adam Cole does something quick to cost Balor a match. Cross is the champion. Cross moves on. Balor moves on to Cole and all of that. But I don't know. I'm interested to see where they're going. There was a good big angle to end the show.
Yeah, which
what happens next,
which I'm really happy about, because man, that was a big criticism of like mine from from last takeover, it was like they never ended with anything big, so like they didn't really give you a like reason to want to even tune in on NXT on Wednesday. But now, I mean, hell, like this definitely gives them at least some interest there.
The old copyright pops up right when the kick happens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They timed that.
I had a feeling that they were doing something because I was like, "Well, Cole's like standing a little bit farther away here." I'm like,
I thought, I was thinking, okay, Balor's joining UE. Does that make sense? I don't know.
I mean, it kind of does because
I was like, would you want to? And like, does Balor is? I was like, is Balor going to kick whoever? I forget who was to his right, but he didn't. I was like, something feels like it could happen here. Like you had that feeling, and obviously Cole super kicks Balor,
mm-hmm.
and then
I was more surprised that he super kicked Kyle, which I was like, okay, now we're definitely Kyle is going out on his own now.
I saw it after the first kick, and the way Cole was standing, I was like, he's gonna kick
Kyle. Yeah, he's gonna be just
and in the way it makes, as much as we didn't see it really happen, I kind of makes sense to me, because like Kyle was like all obsessed with Balor and just trying to be on his good side, and Cole's probably like, no, screw you. So again, obviously they should get an explanation.
And the last part I freaking loved is like Roddy is like so
torn,
conflicted. Like he doesn't know.
He didn't want to.
Because he's won like tag titles with Kyle, but he's also is really loyal with Adam because he was the main reason why he even joined the group. So it's like that was
a good visual. I'm glad it wasn't when the kick that O'Reilly happened. I was looking at O'Reilly, and looked at his face, and he wasn't really showing anything. I couldn't tell if he was like behind it, like not behind it, but like agreed with it, and like really didn't like O'Reilly, and this was like planned. But then
you could tell. Then
again,
completely shocked.
Yeah,
shocked.
Then that happened, and then he had that camera angle on him, and it's like he wanted to leave, but he wanted to check on him. But yeah, that was a nice touch for them, because I was even leading up to this when Lorcan and Birch attacked Balor. I'm thinking maybe everybody. I saw people on Twitter too say calling for MSK because they're the challengers now.
Yeah.
I was thinking, and then UE came out. I went, okay, it does technically make sense because there's history there.
But something was probably happening there because you don't have those guys out unless you're gonna do a like big angle here. And sure enough, that's what happened.
And we all thought the angle was, and I mean, they've built this.
Dave teased this. Finn was going to join.
Dave teased this pretty
heavily
that he was going to join. So you're probably thinking, oh, finally, he's going to throw up the. He's going to throw up the thing.
Yeah.
He starts to pull up the gun, and you're like, okay, maybe not. And then the kick happened. So this whole build up to this moment, I thought was well done. Looking back at it, because you think, oh, he's going to join it. No.
So now, the definitely
whole O'Reilly thing that everybody thought was going to happen back before. But now it's finally happening, so that's good. You have another semi-main event thing going on right here,
and it gives at least some interest from some people to want to tune in and see where that goes. But this is definitely
all about the hook, and you got.
And I would say this is definitely NXT's hottest angle that they've done. a very long time. And at least
Since
for me, at least for me, it's like we're going all the way back to when like Rio won the title. Like that's how far I'm going back as far as angles are concerned on NXT. This was
last year, right? So
yep.
fall. No, wait, that was fall of 19. I'm sorry.
Yep, December of like 19. Yeah, when she won that title.
I don't know if that was. I'm thinking that was a good angle storyline, but
Yep.
I'm trying to think. I would say I'm going to go back. I have one that I think is going to beat it. Was Ciampa turning on Gargano for what they got out of that.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
Rhea was a good story.
You can make an argument that is NXT's best form of storytelling that they've ever done.
Because
like,
that was a big moment.
It was huge.
So I'm going back to that. Like,
yeah, like
I'll say that's
when Ciampa turned on him, like, and everyone knew it was coming, but they were still shocked by
yeah, and he became the biggest heel on that show.
Hated man in professional wrestling.
And we got the Ciampa we know now. We got the I was about to say trilogy. It's not really a trilogy, but the I don't just say feud of them and in the matches, in the beatdowns for that. Just the whole how those two dynamics and those characters changed throughout that whole thing.
Right.
So I would think that was I'll go to that. That'd be my pick, like the biggest end of a takeover. If we're going end of takeover, like surprise,
right,
big angle, that's mine.
Yep, for sure. So yeah, guys, that should pretty much do it for the show here. We thank you for tuning in, and just as a reminder, we are not going to be doing a professional wrestling live stream. However, we are going to be doing our weekly podcast every Saturday at 3 p.m. And are we going to be doing a live stream for the chamber next week?
If you want to.
Okay, yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, so yeah, that will be our next.
We have to talk about our tribal chief.
Absolutely. So yes, that will be our next live stream there. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter. For Matt and for John, we shall see you guys later.